Welcome back to a brand new video, guys, and we are on our way to Chinatown here in Kuala Lumpur, and it's a little over a mile from the Airbnb, but I have seen some electric scooters around like you get in the US that you can kind of like rent out with the app. So we're gonna see if I can grab one of those. All right, so here's a scooter right here. It's called Beam, and yeah, so you just download the app and then you get to ride it. We'll see how much it's gonna cost to go about 1.1 miles here. All right, so my time has started now, and they got these nice little stands for your phones, which I appreciate. So I can use Google Maps on here, and let's see how much it costs to go about 1.1 miles. Okay, so that was a complete waste of 20 ringgit there. I just kind of went up the street and had to come back down because that zone over there is restricted and there's no way of crossing the street when you're riding the scooter. So you can't even get to where you want to go if you are riding it. And it would have been a lot cheaper just to get a Grab, which would have been like probably around like 7 or 10 ringgit. So double the price and didn't even get me anywhere close to where I needed to be. Kind of sucks. It's a cool idea though, but it just doesn't work with the kind of infrastructure over here because there's a lot of sky bridges and stuff. So it's almost impossible to get to where you want to go on a scooter. Yes, I need to be on that side of the road, and I went all the way down this, maybe probably like half a mile, maybe even more down the street, trying to find a place to cross, and there just wasn't one. So no point really in renting a scooter. All right, guys, so I just grabbed a Grab for 6 ringgit, so much cheaper than the scooter, and it'll also get us there probably much easier and much quicker in the end. Probably should have just done that to begin with, but you know, I'm glad I tried it out so you guys know not to try it whenever you're here in Kuala Lumpur. Just get a Grab, it's cheaper and easier. But I'll see you guys in Chinatown in a couple seconds. All right, guys, here we are in Chinatown. And in particular, I wanted to go to Petaling street market, which is kind of where all of the stalls are, and it's covered. It's right here. And you got all kinds of restaurants around here, and then a bunch of kind of fake stuff being sold over here as well. Hey, here we go. As you can see, there's a bunch of little stalls selling all kinds of fake and copied goodies, from Gucci to Supreme. You can find it all here. And I've got to say, it's nice that it's covered, so when it is sunny, the heat's not beating down on you. And I love the way it's decorated with all these kind of Chinese lanterns and stuff. Really cool aesthetic. And so it looks like in here there's not as many restaurants. It's just mostly little stalls and shops. But around here there's a bunch of restaurants and cafes and stuff that we're gonna go check out in a bit. There are little juice stalls and little snack stalls, but not like restaurants. And it goes all the way down here, as you can see, maybe a quarter of a mile-ish. Of course, there's some durian, some fresh jackfruit. A couple Rolexes. And actually, these middle stalls over here, they put up around 5:30ish. because I think the street is open to cars and stuff during the day. So at around 5:30 they bring all these middle stalls out and set them up. And it makes it look a lot more crowded. You'll notice that they're definitely not as pushy as they were in Vietnam for you to buy something. Much more mellow. And they probably make a lot of sales around here, to be honest, with all these stuff here. And really anything you could possibly want, they've pretty much got here. Watches, Rolex pens, anime t-shirts. It's all here. And so right now it's actually around 6, so I'm guessing as the night goes on it gets more and more busy. So if you don't want a crowd, then the earlier the better. If you do, I think late nights when that happens. But yeah, that is the end of the street. There's a whole bunch of restaurants down this way, a bunch of cafes, more souvenir shops, stuff like that. And then that is the kind of south entrance to Petaling street market. Okay, let's just keep walking down this way and we'll come around this building right here, see what's going on down these streets over here. And I see the 4 Points right there. It's probably the tallest building around for a bit. But yeah, there's some really cool restaurants and cafes around here. Kind of like your super trendy, like vegan-like cafes. And this is actually the Malaysian MotoGP weekend, so I think that's why there's a couple more people around here maybe. Definitely seen a lot of people with MotoGP attire on, so that explains that. It's also starting to rain a little bit, and let's cross the street because there are some really cool little restaurants on this side. So we got some Chinese barbecue, Japanese restaurant. Oh, it's like Korean barbecue. I'm not sure what this building is, but it looks a lot like the one in New York City. It looks like there's a little restaurant down this alleyway. That's gonna look super cool when it's all lit up. But yeah, as you can see, it's very trendy around here. Not sure what's going on in there. It looks like a little rainforest cafe vibe. Another cool little bar. And this street looks really awesome. Decorated with more Chinese lanterns. That's really cool. Let's go down this way and see what's going on. Looks to be a couple more restaurants down here. Not sure what's down this way. Looks like more restaurants actually. So there's like these little hidden alleyways with a bunch of restaurants in them, and they're super artsy. Looks awesome. Honestly, a lot better than the actual market street to come explore around here, I think. It seems to be more popular with like younger people. It looks like there's kind of small bars and places that serve alcohol, so that makes kind of sense. That makes sense. Yeah, so all the way around Chinatown there's tons of restaurants, and not just Chinese restaurants. There's like, I saw Japanese, there's a lot of Western food, stuff like that, and a bunch of coffee shops as well. So definitely worth visiting this place, and I think I like it a little bit more than Jalan. the food street we went to the other day. It just seems like there's a lot more going on and there's kind of a younger crowd around here. All right, that was kind of the walk around of the area. And now let's find a grab to eat because pretty hungry. Okay, so I just checked on Google Maps and it looks like a lot of the Chinese restaurants around here are already closed, and they kind of open early and close early. So it's kind of unfortunate and a little weird. But let's go see down this road where all those kind of trendy cafes were. Let's go see if we can find a restaurant down here. Alright, so I think since we're in Chinatown, it's probably a good idea to try some Chinese barbecue. So let's try this place out, I think. This one. Here. Alright, so it's called Long Cafe, and their menu is a really cool newspaper. It's really cool, I've never seen that before. Alright, so I obviously had to get some Chinese barbecue since I'm here. And I also got a little milk tea because it is hot outside and this stuff really hits the spot. Oh yeah, reminds me of Sri Lanka. Nice and creamy, cold, and not too sweet. Alright guys, so here we are. I got some char siu, some roast duck over rice, and some bok choy. It also comes with a little bit of soup, and then a chili, and I'm guessing hoisin sauce. And I gotta say, this duck is the juiciest looking duck, or juiciest looking roast duck I've ever seen. It's glistening. Okay, that was my first bite, and I'm gonna tell you now, that's the best duck I've ever had. It is so juicy and tender, not overcooked. The skin's not incinerated into like nothingness. There's still a little bit of fattiness and that ducky taste in there, which I love. And you taste kind of all the spices that are in there as well, the star anise and the sweetness of some like cinnamon. It is so freaking good. It's the best. It's the best roast duck I've had. It beats out anything I've had in the US by a long shot. And now let's try a little bit of this char siu, which looks even better, to be honest. Okay, on the char siu, the flavor's there, but I think it's been sitting out a bit. So the edges have kind of gotten a little dry, and you can taste it in there. And I originally wanted the roast pork, because it's one of my favorite Chinese barbecue things, but they had already run out. And it's usually the case if you come late to Chinese barbecue, the roast pork runs out really quick. But I'm so glad I got to try this duck, because it is freaking amazing. And you get all of this food for just like $4, which is crazy. What a steal, especially for duck. You couldn't even dream of finding duck for anywhere close to that price in the US, especially with the rice, pork, and soup. Crazy deal. All right, let's try some of this soup. Not sure what it is, but it looks pretty flavorful. It's rich and dark. The soup isn't that good, but with the barbecue, it's one of the best. And you can see how moist and glistening it is, even on this fork right here. And I can taste every little bit of the spices they used in this. That star anise really comes through and gives the meat a really, really sweet flavor to it. That's super unique. And it's penetrated all the way through the meat as well, which is, I think, what's surprising me the most. Because usually you get that taste of star anise when you have Chinese barbecue, but it doesn't penetrate the meat as much as it has here. And that mixed with the kind of the gaminess of the duck makes for a perfect flavor. All right guys, I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll continue exploring this area a little longer, maybe get some dessert. All right guys, just got done with dinner and it looks like it rained out here while I was gone. But I'm also super full because I ordered another tea. That's how good it was. So if you're over here, definitely grab one of those teas. But let's just kind of walk around and we'll see if we can find anything. I've basically shown you around this entire place, and even though I am full, there is such a thing called a Ramway Burger, which I have been suggested many times here in Malaysia, and I definitely want to try it. And I saw a place on the way in, so I want to go check that out before we head back to the hotel. But I definitely need to digest this food down first, so I think we'll need to walk around and burn some of those calories. Okay guys, so it is raining a little harder now, but the actual market, or the street where the market is on, is covered, so let's try and get in there. And crossing the street here is still very much a free-for-all, so that's one thing that hasn't changed. Still not too much going on over here, not crazy busy. It's nice to just get some cover from the rain for a little bit here. And hopefully there's some cover on the way to that Ramway Burger stall, which is just up the street from here, so not too far of a walk. Looks like we got some roasted chestnuts or something going on over here. But let's head down this way, because I think this is where the burger stall is. And this is not covered, so it's kind of outside of that kind of street market. A couple more little food stalls down here. Yeah, I think the rain has really kind of slowed things down on the street, even though it's a Friday night. There's probably usually a lot more people here when the weather's a little bit more compliant. But across the street here, there looks to be a lot of kind of food stalls. Let's go check some of these out. And these all look to be kind of locals, so these must be the good food places. It's like a bunch of barbecue skewers. Portuguese grilled fish, and that looks pretty good. Yeah, so you got quite a few little stalls, some drinks over here, and then a fruit stall. And I got some of these mangosteens the other day, so when we get back to the hotel we can definitely try some out, and I'll kind of teach you how to eat them, because they are one of the best fruits in the world. And if you want to get them in the US, it's going to be like $20 a pound, which is a ridiculous price to pay for something that's not even that good of a quality, because it's imported from all the way in Asia, so it really ruins the fruit when it gets there. Alright guys, here's the Ramway Burger spot, and thankfully it is covered, or a little covered at least. Get the double special. The double special. The double special. Is this beef and chicken?
Chicken, yes.
Can I have beef? Can I have beef?
You want beef or chicken?
Beef.
Beef.
Yes. Yes, thank you. And to me, it seems like it's basically just a burger. And so they've got chicken and beef options. Obviously no pork, because this is a Muslim country. But beef works just fine for me. And he just flips these over so they are nice and golden brown. And I'm not sure how I feel about the building a burger in one hand and cigarette in the other hand technique, but I guess, you know, this guy probably knows what he's doing. Alright, so he's got an egg on there, and he's got a pretty neat technique of doing that.
Ben okey hari ni? Hai busy. Aku Five dulu. Apa kata kita buat panggilan video kejap dengan geng bola kita?
I think that one's mine, and he's gonna wrap it up in the omelet here.
Bosan lah. Bosan TV bag ultimate ni ada 71 ranta, RM49.90 je. Lebih nilai, lebih rancang.
Ni macam layan.
Berbaloi pula tu. Jom layan lagi di unify.com.my/content. Tertakluk pada terma dan syarat. Ingat ya, kusta bukan penyakit keturunan atau satu sumpahan. Kusta adalah penyakit berjangkit yang stigma dan diskriminasi terhadap pesakit kusta dan keluarga. Pemahaman kuno yang tidak benar hanya akan melemahkan semangat pesakit. Kedua, bersama-sama awal Asyari dan Jin Sergifri. Pada Sabtu, 29 Oktober.
Ikuti siaran langsung.
Thank you.
Puncak Bintang Ramway hingga akhir.
Alright guys, got the burger. And there's not much light over here, so I'm thinking we go back to the hotel, try this burger out, try some mangosteen out, and then call it a night. Yeah, there's just not much lighting here. Okay, so I'm gonna get a grab and I will see you guys back at the hotel. Alright guys, made it back to the hotel and it's time to finally try this Ramway Burger, even though I am so freaking full from dinner still. But let's go ahead and get this opened up and try just a little bit of it even, and it's still very hot, so that's nice. And here it is. It's kind of messy. There's a lot of this kind of red chili sauce on there. He put some on the inside of the egg and then also on the outside, so it's just absolutely dripping with it. Let's get a nice big bite of this. Wow, there is tons of that sauce in there. It's not a ketchup, it's like a red chili sauce, and it's sweet, but there is a lot of it in there, and it just bursts with it. And this beef here is cooked perfectly. It's not overcooked, not dry, really juicy, and then it's all wrapped up in this omelet. And the beef itself is not that traditional burger meat. It's got like little chunks of fat in it, and it's more like a Spam. It's not Spam, but that's kind of like the texture it has, which I really like. I mean, that's good. And you definitely need these veggies in here because, man, it is a flavor bomb, and it's packed full of rich ingredients like the beef and then the egg, and then the bun was toasted in butter on top of that grill as well, so you definitely need something to cut that down. And this would be perfect drunk food after a night out. Man, this would really hit the spot. And it definitely beats your McDonald's or Burger King for sure. It's better than that. So it's on like a level higher than that. And honestly, it's probably a lot cheaper than those are as well. Because this was only 6 ringgit and this was like the double special. So I think that's the biggest one they make. And like I was saying, they also have a chicken version of this, which I'm sure is lighter and probably even works better, but I don't know. I'm just a beef guy, and this works really well. And definitely try it when you're here in Malaysia. It's very unique to here, and it's kind of like the Malaysian burger. One thing I did wish that was in there though is a little bit of cheese. Even though it's that rich, I think the cheese would have really brought it all together. But otherwise, really good burger. Definitely worth a try, and I'm glad I got to try it today. I might even go back and get more at some point here. It's just the perfect little, I don't know, 1,200 calorie snack. All right, and now let's go ahead and try out a mangosteen. And like I was saying, it is one of the best fruits in the world. It is my favorite fruit of all time. And it's available mostly in kind of like the Southeast Asian region. I think that's where it's native to. It's a very tropical fruit, and the flavor is super unique. And here it is, the humble mangosteen. So there's a hard outer shell to it, and you gotta kind of crack it open to get to what looks like kind of garlic cloves. And let's go ahead and get it open here. But like I was saying, these are very expensive in the US, and they don't taste anywhere as good as they do here in Southeast Asia. All right, so what you gotta do to get these open is kind of put it in your palms like this, grab it kind of like that, cross your fingers, and then you gotta smash it like that to get it cracked open, and then you pull it apart and it reveals the beautiful fruit of the mangosteen, which, like I was saying, is very similar to garlic cloves. And so once you're in it like this, you just kind of grab little cloves out of it and then eat it. And it's one of the sweetest and most incredible fruits you'll ever have. Definitely try it out. And there are a couple seeds in there, which I've swallowed a couple of times. I don't know if you're supposed to, but you know, it's not hurting anyone. Yeah, so when you're in Malaysia, along with durian, mangosteen is another thing you have to try. And speaking of durian, we're definitely gonna have to go try that at some point. I'm kind of putting it off after trying the fried version in the last video. I can't imagine the durian raw will be any better, but it is just something you have to try in what is probably the durian capital of the world. So I can't wait for that, but that is yet to come. All right, guys, and that is going to be the end of this video. I love Chinatown. The restaurants and the cafes over there are so cool and really fun to just hang out in. There's also a lot to see around there and really great restaurants to explore, so make sure you check it out. And on that note, guys, it is time to end the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you know when I post next. And until then, have a great day.